Hey guys, I'm Danielle. Welcome to my channel. If you've never watched a video before, I highly suggest go back and watch some videos so you get some background on my life, my story, who I am, and what I do, because you might be a little bit confused today. But anyways, today I'm going to be talking about World Championships and how that went, how my feelings are towards how I swam, because to be honest, I'm not happy with how things went, and it's been a little bit difficult the past week since being home, processing all of that. But I think I have processed enough to tell you guys 3 things that I am learning around the idea of excellence and physical accomplishments and all this interesting stuff, and then ultimately what God thinks of that and what God thinks of me, even if I have not achieved what I thought I should have been able to achieve. And if you are not interested at all in what I'm about to say, then you don't have to watch. But if you are interested, then I hope you enjoy the video. So let's get going. Alright, so this past week I was in London, England, representing Canada at the 2019 World Paraswimming Championships, and honestly, I absolutely love representing my country. It's honestly an incredible feeling, and I'm so grateful that I get the chance to do that. I did not swim very well. I swam like fine, but I did not get the results that I wanted, and I did not achieve the goals that I had set out for myself, and I'm sad that I didn't go as fast as I thought I could, and I thought that I'd be able to go. I'm sad that God didn't answer my prayer of going a best time. And honestly, I'm jealous of the people who seem to reap the rewards immediately for the goals that they set and the hard work that they put in. I'm not gonna lie, those are my feelings. I'm confused because I genuinely thought that this year I'd be able to swim really well. All completely valid, all completely human. And it's just been a little bit of a feelings ball of mess lately, if I'm being honest. But the crazy thing is that I have felt extremely peaceful and so comforted, and I know that's God, and that's the only explanation, because how can you be so sad, envious, jealous, tired, exhausted, upset, but still feel extremely comforted and extremely peaceful and content? And so that's kind of what God has been showing me, that it is possible to have a setback and to have a trial and to go through something really hard and be sad, but still feel comfort and still feel peace and still feel content. So it's a very weird balance, because on the one hand I'm crying and I'm sad, but then on the other hand I'm just peaceful. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about today is that we need to get rid of the idea that physical accomplishments will bring us lasting satisfaction. You might be like, Danielle, what the heck are you talking about? What I mean by this is that there are very few people who will actually go on to win medals, win awards, records, high distinctions, titles, and it's absolutely okay to work towards those, and I am in awe and incredibly proud of all my friends who have achieved those things. But unfortunately, that's not always the case, and that's not the case for everyone, and has not been the case for me. So today I'm speaking to the people who keep working hard and who keep putting out all this hard work and putting out this excellence, but have not yet had some sort of physical representation of their hard work and have not yet achieved all of their dreams that they have set out to achieve. So basically, I think society has represented the idea of excellence with physical accomplishments. But the problem with that is that what happens when someone falls under first, second, and third, and they don't make the podium, they don't make that goal, they don't make the honor roll, they don't make that. So what I have found is that in my athletic career, my trials and setbacks have been what have actually produced my greatest lasting reward. That might seem super strange to hear, and it is kind of weird to say that trials and setbacks have produced my greatest reward, and that reward has not been represented by a physical accomplishment and a physical achievement like a medal. You don't get a medal for having a setback, but you do get something out of going through a trial and going through some sort of testing. So for me, not going a best time the past 6 years in my so-called best event, I've learned what perseverance is and how to get up each year and keep trying to go a best time and trying to get faster and faster, and I've learned how to persevere through the past 6 years of not quite getting that. And in 2012 and in 2016 I missed the Paralympic team, and by missing those teams, that's honestly taught me what true hard work is and what that feels like, and how just because you work hard doesn't mean you're going to get your name put on that team. And just because you're putting out all this work and you're doing this good things and you're working really hard, you're training, you're studying, all this stuff, doesn't always mean that you're going to get that physical accomplishment, and you're not going to necessarily achieve that right away. And then also having a career that has seemingly been plagued with injury, that has taught me a lot about patience and how to chill and relax and let your body heal, how to step back. It's taught me what rest is, and it's taught me how to be patient in waiting for your body to heal and all this stuff. And these are all different trials that have produced a lasting reward in my life, and none of them are represented by a medal. And ultimately, excellence just means that you are incredibly good at something. You can be incredibly good at anything you do. It can be the smallest thing. I can be incredibly good at getting up every day and going to the pool. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to get a medal for that, but that, in my mind, is still pretty excellent, to have that perseverance and that dedication to keep showing up while you are trying to pursue that goal. So the second thing I'm going to say is we can't place our identity in what we do and what we want to accomplish. So what I mean by that is that our self-worth should not be attached to an outcome, especially if that outcome is not guaranteed. And then if we place our identity in what we do, for example, a sport, a job, a relationship, family, and those things happen to not be going well, then we won't be doing well either. So, for example, for me, if I am to place my identity in swimming and in going a best time, and I don't go a best time, where does that leave me? And does that mean that I'm a failure? Does that mean that my self-worth sucks because I didn't get my goal? No, it shouldn't, because we can't place our identity in what we do and in an outcome that we are trying to achieve. So for me, I cannot be Danielle, the national level swimmer, because if one day I stop being a swimmer, and that day's gonna come, then where am I? Then who am I? I have to be Danielle, who is a child of God, who is loved, who is cared for, who is chosen, and who is uniquely and wonderfully made, who happens to swim. Because if I am all of these things, which are very constant things and they are promised things, then this identity that I have rooted myself in will not change. And if one day I don't ever end up winning a medal, or if I don't ever end up winning some sort of physical achievement, it's okay, because that is not my identity. My identity is this. I encourage you guys not to place your identity in what you do and what you want to accomplish. And your emotions are just gonna go blah, and then you're gonna be like, what? And you'll be like, oh my goodness, what do I do? And all da-da-da-da, and you're just gonna feel lost. I strongly believe that if you root yourself in something that is constant, no matter what comes at you, no matter what circumstances come your way, you're gonna be okay. You are loved, you are adored, you are cared for, and you are wonderfully made. Alright, so then the third and last thing I'm going to talk to you about is how God thinks of excellence. And basically, God cares more about your heart and your character and what's on the inside of you than he does about how many trophies you win. It's plain and simple. And like, don't get me wrong, God wants us to achieve, and our prayers that everybody achieves their goals and achieves their dreams and gets what they work for, but he does care more about what is on the inside. Even if I never go a best time again, he still cares more about what's on the inside than what I have to outwardly show for my swimming career. Okay, so Danielle, what does that mean? What does God think of excellence? Well, in Romans 5, verse 3-5, it says, not only so, but we glory in our sufferings, because suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope, and hope does not put us to shame. And what that means, and how I can tie that back to my first point, it's that through suffering and through trials and through setbacks, it produces perseverance. And perseverance then contributes to your character. And with your character growth, that gives you hope that you can overcome the next thing and the next thing and the next thing that comes at you. And in my mind, that is excellent, and that is gonna take you so much farther than any sort of worldly physical representation of an accomplishment, because this is something that is inside of you. And so where does God's comfort come into this, and how does all this tie together? Well, in 2 Corinthians 1 verses 3 to 5, I mean, you guys can look this verse up for yourselves, but it says something along the lines of, it says, "The God of all comfort, who comforts us in all of our troubles. For just as we share abundantly in the sufferings of Christ, so we share in his comfort as well." So when I go through things like going to world championships and swimming really bad, that's a trial. God promises that inside our trials and inside our setbacks, we will learn how to persevere, and it will develop our character, and we will have hope. And our hope is that God will come into those situations and give us the comfort and the peace that we need to get through those. And that is exactly what he's promised. And that's what he has shown me this week, is that I set goals for myself and I didn't achieve them, and I'm sad, and it's okay to be sad, but it's okay because God is still here, and he is comforting me, and he is giving me peace, and I am just so content, sad, but content, and that's okay. And I don't feel lost about this next season. I'm actually really excited about it leading into the Paralympic year, but it's this crazy thing. So it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be sad and to be frustrated, to be angry, to be all these feelings that you're feeling. You're like, oh my goodness, all these things, and you're wrestling with your disappointments. That's completely okay. Just remember that God can be there with you to give you that comfort and to give you that peace to balance that out. And inside of that mix is where you will find an excellence that is going to take you farther beyond anything you will have ever imagined. And it's that excellence that God has promised me. It's that excellence that he has promised you, and that he has promised each and every one of you who believe in him, that there is excellence in the middle of your disappointments, and he will be there to comfort you, and that is pretty great. So remember that. I pray that over all of you today, no matter what you're going through, good, bad, hard, tough, sad, happy, all the things. I just pray that you feel a genuine contentment, and that you can be satisfied in your circumstances and be comforted in your circumstances, and that you can look to inside of you for that excellence, even if it has not yet been represented by a physical achievement. So I pray that over you in Jesus' name. May that be done. And that is the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next time on another episode of This Little Light. Okay, bye.